there, it's Ian from Ranking the Obscure. This is going to be different because I've got all new equipment now, so if there's any hiccups on this one, I do apologise. Right, what we're doing today, we are doing Asia, one of my sort of favourite bands. Obviously there's been two sort of eras. You've got the classic lineup of John Wetton, Cole Palmer, Steve Howell and Jeff Downes, and then you've got the John Payne era, and Jeff Downes is in that. They're two different eras, and when I started doing the ranking of this, it's like a game of two halves. So we've got 13 albums to review. So there have been a couple on here that have done just like the classic lineup, but I'm going to do the whole shebang, as they say. So okay, let's get started. So coming in at number 13 is their 7th album, released in the year 2000. It's called Rare. It's John Payne and Jeff Downes, and it's actually music. It's a soundtrack for a David Attenborough documentary, nature film, called Salmon Against the Tides. That's the first 16 tracks, and then there's some stuff for a CD-ROM. What can I say about this album? As an album, it's not very good. It's got 21 tracks on it. It's got a cover of The Exodus, an adaptation from the film from 1960. But as if you put it to the sort of David Attenborough thing, it's good. But as an album to listen to, I wouldn't recommend it. I think I've only played it about 3 times in my whole life. I've used the bits of music on my holiday videos now because it's good for that. But apart from that, it's not much to talk about. So we'll go on to the next one. Coming in at number 12 is the 1994 album, 5th release, Aria. This lineup was Jeff Downes, John Payne, Al Petrie and Michael Sturgis. Michael Sturgis on drums, Petrie on the guitars, Payne on lead vocals and bass, and Jeff Downes of course on the keyboards. Okay, this album, it is dull. If you want an album to listen to go to sleep, I'll recommend this. Let's go through the tracks. First one on is Anytime. It's upbeat, nothing special. Are You Big Enough? Oh, it's a typical boring 1990s rock. Next track on in is Desire. It's okay, nothing to write home about. Some nice harmonies, mind you. The next track, Summer Nights. It is the best track on the album. Nice track. I can't say much more. It's probably my favourite track on the album. Then we have Sad Situation. Oh, it's just pop, 90s pop dribble. Nothing to go home and talk about. It's Next track, Don't Cut the Wire. Yes, cut the wire please, because this track just meanders, doesn't do anything. And the next track, Feels Like Love. It starts off brilliant and then it just fizzles out like a candle running out of wax. Nothing to write home about. Then we have a thing called Remembrance Day. Great start again, but it's one of them tracks. Oh, this is going to be good. No, it's not. Next track on Military Man. Second best track on the album. Actually sounds like a proper Asia track. I do actually like that one. It's one of the only ones on the album I like. Title track, Aria. It's too short, very proggy. It seems like they thought, this is good. Oh, we've had enough of this. It's only a couple of minutes long. It's a shame because it could have been something good. Last track on the album, Reality. Awful filler. I'm not good. I don't even play it. I always sort of end at Military Man. It is probably the weakest album of the John Payne era. It's too not. It's that 90s sound. The production is not particularly good. So let's move on. Next one, number 11 in my list, is the 2001 album, the 8th release, called Aura. Now this has got John Payne and Jeff Downes, and then there's just a ton of musicians. It seems it's everybody that, you know, do you want to come and play on the album? Some of the musicians on here include Chris Slade, obviously the AC/DC, The Firm. Simon Phillips drums on this as well. He's played with practically everybody. He has actually played with Judas Priest. But he was more known for, I've known more from drumming when he was with Mike Oldfield. Michael Sturgis drums on this. And you've got even Steve Howell plays on this one, which is a bit of a turn up, and Tony Levin. So you got a right mishmash of people on this one. Let's go into the tracks. First track, Awake, more of that poppy rubbish, not much you can say about that one. Then we have Whatever You Are. It's a good track, nice melody, nice guitar work. Can't say much, it's not a bad track. Then we got Ready to Go Home. Good, it's a moving track, not a bad track. I don't mind listening to that. The Last Time, more of that poppy rubbish. Don't want to know that one. Forgive Me Again. It's just that poppy sound. It just doesn't do anything for me. Then we get a track called Kings of the Day. That's an okay track. Nice AOR sort of sound. Good guitar work. I don't mind that one at all. Then we have next track, On the Coldest Day. One of my favourite tracks actually of the John Payne era. It's quite mellow, but it's John Payne's probably his best vocal performance with Asia. It's a really good track. I always enjoy listening to that one. Next track is called Free. Jeff Downes' keyboards on this is brilliant. It makes the song. It's one of them songs, if it didn't have Jeff Downes' keyboards on it, it'd be pretty mediocre. Next track, You're the Stranger. You see, we got two good tracks, and then we go back to an awful poppy sounding one. Next track on here, The Longest Night, blues guitar work, great track. I do like that one, can't deny that. Then the title track. Thing with Asia, their title tracks seem to be the worst tracks on the album. This has got bongos, it just ruins it. Don't know what they were doing there. Then there's a track, I got the bonus album for some reason, Under the Gun. Oh dear. I think I'll play about 30 seconds of it and skip to the next track, because the next track, Come Make My Day, it's got a nice beat, catchy tune, and it actually would fit up with the classic lineup playing this song. It's that good. Then we got the bonus, one of the bonus tracks, Hands of Time. It's the best track on the album. It's got that great heavy organ from Jeff Downes, brilliant. It's not that Uriah Heep sort of sound. You can't go wrong with it. On the whole, the album's, it's got some highlights, but it's not one that you can say, oh, my favourite. Right, my number 10 is the 2004 album, 9th one, Silent Nation. It was the last one to feature Jeff Payne. A lot of people think this is the worst Asia album ever made. It isn't. I like this one. It's got some really good tracks on it. First one, What About Love? Good rocker to open the album. Can't go wrong with it. It's really good. Long Way Home. Another good rocker. Then we get a Midnight. Not the best starts to the song, but it gets better. But then it becomes a plodder. Bit mixed, that track. Next track, Blue Moon Monday. Very proggy. Like this one. Nice keyboard work from Jeff Downes. Just can't go wrong with it. Title track, Silent Nation. Actually, we've got a title track that sounds like an Asia track. It's proper Asia. Again, this could have been played by the classic lineup. Great track. Next track, Ghost in the Mirror. Very quirky. Reminds me a bit like Bartley James Harvest. Yeah, I do like that song. Next song, Gone Too Far. Another great Asian track. John Wetton could have sang this easily. Really good track. You can't go wrong with that one. Another good track, I'll Be There For You. Great guitar work. Proper Asia track. You just can't go wrong. Darkness Days. It's a solid track. Eerie start, the monks, and all that sort of thing. And then it's a good track. Best one on the album. Really enjoy that. Play that quite a lot. And it ends out with The Prophet. Nice ballad. Good guitar work again, and really good keyboards. It's a better album, you know. I don't know why people say it's the worst album they ever made. If it's one of them albums I go back to a lot because I do enjoy listening to it. Okay then, number 9 is the 1996 album, the 6th one, Arena. This has got some interesting people on it. Again, you've got Michael Sturgis on the drums, and then you got Azizi Brum, and then was it Hoichi Taishu, some Japanese guitarist, and Lewis Jardin on percussion. This is a hit and miss album. Into the Arena, then Bongos come out again, but this is more like Santana, so it's only a little short thing, but it's not too bad. Title track again, it's okay, nothing special. Heaven. Now this is an interesting track. When it starts up, it actually sounds like Pink Floyd's Run Like Hell, and as it goes on, it sort of then goes into like a Pink Floyd-y 90s track, you know, something from the Division Bell, that sort of sound. It's quite nice, I actually like it. Two Sides of the Moon, bit poppy. It's got that awful 90s synth sound. Ugh. Yeah, the less we say about the better. Next track, The Day Before the War. Great epic track, nice proggy track, great vocals, best track on the album. Next track, Never. It's very Eric Clapton from the August sort of era. It's okay, I don't mind it. Next track, Falling. Reminds me of Supertramp, so it's okay, not too bad. Words, it's okay. Typical OAR track. Next track, You Bring Me Down. This is really good. It is the best track on the album. It starts off with that Eastern, you know, Arabic sound, and then it goes into a 70s rock again. That Uriah Heep sound from the, you know, the 70s. I like that track. Good. Tell Me Why. Starts good, and then it flops again. Turn It Around. It's poppy, but I actually like this one. It's got a catchy tune to it, so I don't mind that track. And it rounds off with Bella Nova. Yeah, the less we say about that. I've just put on my notes, naff. That's all you need to know. Right, coming in at number 8, the 1992 album, their first one with John Payne, Aqua. Now this is probably the best album from the John Payne era. It may be to have something to do that it's still got Jeff Downes, Steve Howe and Carl Palmer on it. I do enjoy this album. It's got some really good stuff. Got some guest drummers on here. Simon Phillips again appears on this one. And here's a surprise, Nigel Glocker. Now Nigel Glocker, for those in the know, he's the drummer with Saxon at the moment. Really good drummer. Don't know what he ended up playing on this for though, but there we go. So let's have a look at the tracks on this one. Opens up with Aqua Part 1, little ditty. It's a great short piece. Steve Howe at his best here, and the acoustic guitar. Steve Howe plays really well on this album here. You know, shame he left, but he wanted to go and pursue Yes again. Second track, Who Will Stop the Rain? Nice track, got some lovely harmonies on it. That's all we'll say about that one. Back in Town. This is a good heavy rocker. This is bluesy guitar, probably the best track on the album. Next track, Love Under Fire, solid track, actually written by Jeff Downes and Greg Lake of the LP. Not a bad track. Sunday, it's another good rocker, got some heavy guitar work in it, really good. Little Rich Boy, good steady rock song. Voice of Reason, it's a nice song, but it goes on far too long. It's 5.5 minutes. I think the song you could actually get into about 3.5, 4 minutes. It just seems to meander. It's the only way to say. You know, you want it to finish. Next track, Lay Down Your Arms. This is a great Asia classic track. It could have appeared on any of the classic albums. Great track, really good. Next track, Crime of the Heat. This is another really good song. John Wetton could have sang that. That's how good it is. Far Cry, Steve Howe again, great classic guitar playing on that. He reminds me of sort of the stuff he did in, you know, with Yes back in the 70s. Really good. Next track, Don't Call Back. Not bad, not brilliant, it's okay. Heaven on Earth. You could see where John Payne was going to take Asia. It's okay. You can see where he wanted to go. Aqua Part 2, another silly ditty, pointless, doesn't do anything for me. And then there's a bonus track I've got on this called Obsession. It's got a really good tempo on it. On the whole, it is the best Asia album with John Payne. As I said, it's probably because it's got the other guys as well. Let's move it. We're now moving into what I call the classic lineup. So you can see that John Payne is towards the bottom, and now we go into the classic lineup of Asia. Coming at number 7 is their second album from 1983, Alpha. It was the last of the classic lineup before they split up. Steve Howe left. The trouble with this album is there's too many slow songs on it. There's not enough rockers. It has got some good tracks on it though. Let's have a look. Opens up with Don't Cry. Great opener, great track. I do like that track, always had. I remember when it came out on single, really enjoyed that one. Second track was Smilers Lift Your Eyes. Nice ballad, but as I said, there's too many of these slow tracks on this album. Next track, Never in a Million Years. Good up-tempo song, like that one. Really good, proper Asia track. My Own Time, I'll Do What I Want. Another slow track. Okay. Next track, Heat Goes On. Classic Asia song. They were still playing it up till the last tour. So and I do like that. One of the best tracks on the album. Eye to Eye. Nothing special. I think it's a bit of a filler. It doesn't do anything. The Last to Know. This is dull as hell. Not their best song. Next we got True Colours. Again, slow. This is a good song though. Then we get Midnight Sun. That is a really good track. I love that. It's a slow one, but probably the best slow track on the album. And then we have Open Your Eyes. Solid closer. Proper, yes. Got yes on the mind. Proper Asia track, that one is. Really good. Coming in at number 6 is their 10th album from 2008, Phoenix. It's the reunion album of the classic lineup. Now, when I saw that they were getting back together, I thought, brilliant, you know, nice to see them get back together. But the album, to me, it's a little bit disappointing. It's hit and miss. There's some good tracks on it, and there's some terrible tracks on it. Let's have a look. Never Again, great opener. When I heard this, you go, whoa, yeah, Asia are back. Second track, Nothing's Forever. Got some really nice harmonies, but then it disappoints me. You got that first little bit, and then it goes into just nothing. Heroin. The only thing good on this is Steve Howell's guitar playing. Yeah, it's the only thing worth listening to is listen to Steve Howell. Sleeping Giant. No Way Back to Prize. It's a little mini epic. Very yesy, but I like it. It's very good. Alibis. Bit of a filler track. Nothing to write home about. Next track, I Will Remember. Slow melodic. Great vocals from John Wetton. He's a bit deeper than he was. Great vocals though. Then we get Shadow of Doubt. Typical Asia song. Nice upbeat tempo. When you listen to it, you know it's Asia. That's you know, it's got their signature to it. Then we get another sort of mini epic, Parallel Worlds, Vortex and Deja. Trying to be Yes again. It's okay, but not as good as the Sleeping Giant one. Then we have a track called Wish I'd Know You All Along. That's an okay track. Over and Over, again an okay track. As I said, a bit hit and miss. But the best track on this album is the last track, Extraordinary Life. Love that track. It's got everything, slows, fast bits. Terrific track, absolutely terrific. Moving on. Number 5 in my rankings is the 1985 album, third album they released, Astra. And it's the one and only album to feature the Swiss guitarist Mandy Mayer. Again, a bit hit and miss on this. There are some great tracks on here. Let's have a look at them. First one's Go, nice opener, typical opening track of an Asia album. Some nice guitar work from Mandy Mayer. Like that track. Second track, Voice of America. Love this track. One of the great slow tracks from Asia. John Wetton's vocals superb. Hard on Me. I think it's a bit of a rehash of Don't Cry. It's okay, I don't dislike it, but I think they may have been struggling there, so they'd sort of rehashed an old track. Fourth track, Wishing, typical 80s rock track. Not really, doesn't do much for me. Rock and Roll Dream. It's just too 80s. It's that 80s radio friendly rock. Then we have Countdown to Zero. 80s rock again, but it's actually not a bad track. Great vocals from John. It's better than Rock and Roll Dream, put it that way. Love Till Eternity. My notes just says rubbish. It is. It's 80s bad production, tinny drums, just doesn't do anything. Same with Too Late, it's okay. Suspicion again, rubbish. It's, I don't know what they were thinking. And then you get the After the War, best track on the album, proper Asia. The sales on this were pretty bad, and one reason John Wetton left. It's a shame because it had potential and it just didn't live up to the expectations. Didn't live up to my expectations. But that's what made I put it so high, is that it has got two or three of my favourite Asia songs. Okay, coming in at number 4 is the 2010 album, 11th, Amiga. This is of course the classic lineup of the band. Some really good tracks on here. We're now starting to get into some really good stuff. Finger on the Trigger, heaviest track that I think that Asia ever recorded. Love that track. Love it live. I've got it on it's on a few of the live albums. Second track, Through My Veins. It's a moving song, good steady rock song, really like it. Holy War, really up tempo, one of their best songs since their reunion. Ever Yours though, unfortunately, slow, boring. Listen Children, steady track, not more you can say about that one. End of the World, good Asia song, classic Asia sound. Light the Way, crap start, but then it's one of them tracks that gets better and better as the time goes on. Really good ending to the track. Next track, Emily. It's a bonus track on here, and you can say why. It's awful. Absolutely. It's just too sloppy. Cheesy lyrics. Not very good. Like the next one, still the same. Second worst track on the album. Too cheesy. Shouldn't have been on the album. Then we have the next track. There Was a Time. It's a bit different for Asia. It's got a Celtic feel, but it works, and I do like it. Then we have the classic, I believe, lovely track, best track on the album. Then we get Don't Want to Lose You Now, nice slow song, but Wetton's vocals on this are so good. As I said, the trouble with Asia albums, you get some great tracks and then you get some, oh dear. I still love the band. It's like supporting a football team. You support them for their best bits and their worst times. And we're moving into the top 3. Now these 3 albums, there's not a bad track on any of them. They're my top 3 for a reason. So coming in at number 3 is their 13th and last album before the sad death of John Wetton. Came out in 2014, 13th album, Gravitas. This features Sam Colson on the guitars, but it's got the rest of, it's got Jeff Downes, John Wetton and Cole Palmer. Really good solid album, top to bottom, not a bad track. Opens up with Valkyrie. It's got that great Asia sound, and it's got that great start to an Asia album. Then we have a little mini saga called the title track, Gravitas. Flows nice. Proper prop track. I like that. Then you get a track called The Closer I Get to You. This is a good track. It starts off slow, goes up to a higher tempo, and then we come back down again. Can't go wrong. Now the next track, I think I pronounced this right, Necrophobia. Steady Asia's track, just what you want. Next track, Russian Dolls. Again, another good track. Nice bass line from John on this. Keeps the track going. Then we have another lot mini epic, Heaven Help Me Now. This is a classic song. It's got some great guitar work from Sam. Really good, you know. Taking over from Steve Howe must be hard, and he comes up with the goods on this track. Next track, I Would Die For You. Great rocker. Next track, Joe DiMaggio's Glove. It's the weakest track on the album actually, but it's not a bad track. Next track, the last one, it's called Till We Meet Again. It's an okay track, but considering this is the last track that John Wetton would sing on an Asia album, it could be that it's John saying goodbye. It's one of them where you've got to listen to the lyrics. It's quite moving considering that, you know, he sadly died in 2017. Terrific bass player, terrific singer, terrific writer. Sadly missed in the rock world. Let's move on to number 2. It's the 12th album. It was the last to feature Steve Howell in Asia. It's the Triple X album. Good album. Again, there's not a bad track on this one. Solid from top to bottom. No weak tracks on this at all. Opens up with the Tomorrow's the World. Now, with this song, when it starts, it's very slow. It's very brave to start an album with a very slow start, because when you have an album, you really like a good, strong album starter. But when it stops, the slow bit, it storms in. Great guitar work, great keyboards from Jeff, brilliant. Second track, Bury Me in Willow. This is very poppy, but actually I like this because it's got a catchy chorus, and you can't just not like this track. No Religion, nice rocker again, good steady track. Faithful is the next one. It's the weakest track on the album. It's slow. Then we get I Know How to Feel. Again, a very Supertramp track, but good. Face the Bridge, classic Asia. Al Gatto Nero, steady one. Judas, best track on the album. It's got some really heavy Hammond keyboards, heavy guitar riffs. Brilliant track. Next track is Reno, Silver and Gold. Another corker, absolute belter. Then we get Ghost of Chance. Steve Howell's guitar work in this is absolutely brilliant. Now the version I got has got 2 bonus tracks, and it's 2 tracks actually on the album. They do another version of I Know How You Feel. This is different from the other track, and it's actually a little bit better than the one that's on the album. Great track. And Faithful, I said it was the weakest track, but this is an orchestral version, and it's got a little bit more to it. Really good version. So, my number 1. Now, if you haven't guessed, it's the debut album from 1982 Asia. Always been my favourite Asia album. I think it was such a brilliant album. Anything else that came after it, it was a hard act to follow. And I think with Asia, they never really got it. I mean, Triple X came close, and so did the other. So did Gravitas, but of course, this album is superb. From that, the first song I ever heard was the opening track on the album, Heat of the Moment, and that opening riff just blew me away. Terrific. Then you got Only Time Will Tell. Great keyboards, guitars at the beginning. Love that track to this day. Then we get the brilliant Soul Survivor. Really driving guitars, and Carl Palmer's performance on this is terrific. He was at his best. One Step Closer, catchy riffs and lyrics. Love the track. Time and Again, best track on the album. It's got that heavy opening with guitars and then thundering drums and the keyboards. Love that track. Wildest Dreams. That's a great track. Bit of a protest song, I think. You know, it's the song about the generals fighting the war and getting the medals. Great track. Great lyrics. Love it. Then you get the brilliant Haunting Without You. One of the best slow tracks that they ever made. Cutting It Fine. Very yesy in places, which is obvious when you've got Steve Howell in the band. Great guitar work again from Steve Howell on this. And then we finally close up with Here Comes the Feeling, steady closer. So there's our Asia. They've always been a hit and miss band, but I still like them. So I hope you enjoyed that one. Don't forget to click, subscribe, make comments, and hopefully we'll be back with another one very, very shortly. So take care and see you soon.